Oh, there's some light out there. Under unit multipliers, guess what today's word is? Multiple. Sometimes people cheer when I say that. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Just like, ladies and gentlemen, when you saw the negative x or whatever in the inequality thing where I said, does that raise any red flags? Same thing should happen when you see this. If you are asked to convert, I don't know, 3 square feet to square inches. Let's have a long dramatic pause. If you were to go back to when we first did unit multipliers, in big letters, I told you to write what?
Labels.
Labels. And when you see what I just wrote up there, what do you notice about the labels that's different than what they've been in the past? Oh, we do have some people out there paying attention. Grace? They have exponents. Now those exponents aren't just there for their health. They're there for a reason. And what you have to understand is, what does this mean? That little 2 up there, which we call the square, it isn't next to the 3. It is next to the label. So guess what gets squared? The label. Really, when you see this, you should think about this. 3 feet times feet, because that's what feet squared is. And I'm changing that to inches times inches. So guess what that means when it comes to unit multipliers. If I'm changing this from feet times feet into inches times inches, you are going to need multiples of them. So let me show you what it looks like in the real world. I have 3 feet squared, which means feet times feet, and the rules still apply. Remember, the first thing is you're supposed to put it over 1. Remember that? Does that say that somewhere in the notes? And to that, you are going to multiply it by unit multipliers that make the labels cross off. Well, because there's 2 feet up here, I need 2 unit multipliers to get rid of both of those, because you can only do 1 at a time. But it's still the same rule. I'm changing it from feet into inches, so on top I have to put the label inches. And then, what goes next to the inches? 12 inches in a foot, 12 inches in a foot. Labels cross off, 1 foot with 1 foot, the other foot with the other foot. And guess what my answer is going to be? 3 times 12 times 12. Now, because you're 7th grade, I'm going to tell you, you can just leave it as that. If it's a long multiplication with all these multiple unit multipliers, go ahead and just leave it like 3 times 12 times 12, even though 144 times 3 probably isn't that bad. What is it? 3, 2, 3, 4, 432 or something like that. You can just leave it as that, but you need to make sure you put your label down. What is my label? Inches times inches, which is inches squared. And you can leave it like that rather than multiplying all that out, which, as lazy as most of you are, that should be a good thing. All right, how about another one? What about this one? What if the label was, what if it was 1 cubic foot? No, let's 1 cubic yard. 1 yard cubed, boy. 1 yard cubed, and I want to make that into cubic feet. Which, if I were asking you, a cubic yard, how big would a cubic yard be? Anybody? If you were holding a cubic yard, Joseph, how far apart would your hands have to be to hold a cubic yard? If you had a cube that was 1 yard by 1 yard by 1 yard, which is a 1 cubic yard, how big would that cube be? Let's say you were playing Monopoly and the only dice you could find were two dice that were both a cubic yard. How could you roll both of those at once? Anybody? Caleb Fisher, how big would a cubic yard be?
The base would be 3 feet.
Hold your hands up to the size. If you were pretend you're holding a cubic yard, how big would it be? Let's say you're carrying it like a box, like this. How big would that be? And how tall will it be?
Carry your boxes like this.
So how many cubic feet are in a cubic yard? Don't answer that. Let's do the math. So, what's happening with the label there? The label is cubic. So when I write this out, what's it have to look like? 1 yard times yard times yard. That's a cubic yard. How many unit multipliers am I going to have to use to get 3 of those to cancel out, Chase? 3. So it would have to look like this. I can put yard down here, and yard down here. I'm changing it into feet. How many feet are in the yard? These unit multipliers will be identical always if you're changing this into that. And what happens? Boom, 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 boom. I'm left with feet times feet times feet. You probably could multiply this one out because it's not that hard. What is 3 times 3 times 3? 27. 27 feet cubed. 27 cubic feet in a cubic yard. Huh. How about that? Nobody would have known. Now, unless you think that's it, let's write this problem down. And this is the beauty of unit multipliers, is it applies to so many different things. What if I asked you to change $12 per hour to cents per minute? $12 per hour, and I want you to make that in cents per minute. What does that look like? Well, you would do this. $12 per hour. Are you with me on that? This is a fraction line. The word per is a fraction line. And I'm changing 2 things. That's why I need multiple unit multipliers here. I am changing hours into, and I'm changing dollars into. And you have to do it one step at a time, and it doesn't matter which one you do. Which one would you like to do first? Cassie? All right, so where am I going to put hours? What? On the top because it's on the bottom here. What goes on the bottom? Minutes. And how many minutes are in an hour?
60.
So 60 goes down here. I have now changed my hours into minutes. Now I'm just left with changing dollars into cents. Why did I put dollars on the bottom over there? Because it's on
The top.
top over here. And then what numbers do I have to put there? There are 100 cents and $1. Dollar signs are crossed off. Doing the math, it would look like this. 12 times 100 over 60, right? 12 times 100 over 60. And again, you can probably do this. The math on this is not that hard. The easiest way to do it would be to cross off the ending 0, ending 0. 6 goes into 12 twice. So what is my answer? 2 times 10, which is 20. What's my label?
Cents per minute.
Cents per minute. Somebody offered you a job at 20 cents per minute. Would you take it, Joseph? Really? So $12 an hour is not enough for you? You must be a, are
Are
you a Democrat? Are you looking for $15 an hour?
No.
Well, you just said you wouldn't work for $12 an hour, Joseph.
$12 an hour would work.
By disclaimer, the views of Mr. Hahn are not necessarily the views of Cross Lutheran Church Board.
20 cents per minute. Whatever.
So you're saying you wouldn't work for 20 cents per minute?
He didn't say that. Whatever, yes. Joseph, you can eat. What's your, how much do you want to get?
So, Joseph brings up a great point.
Whatever.
Joseph, let's do this. Using unit multipliers, I want you, let's just say, Joseph, you make $1 million a year. $1 million a year is how many cents per minute, Joseph? I want you to convert $1 million per year into cents per minute. Everybody, right now, I want you to at least give me the math for it. I don't necessarily, don't do the calculations, but do how you would do the unit multipliers to do it. $1 million per year into cents per minute. And we'll figure out if Joseph would work for that many cents per minute. Show me the math that it would take to convert $1 million per year into how many cents per minute? $1 million per year into cents per minute. The rough part is changing a year into minutes, which shouldn't be that hard for you. We'll use what? A year into days. Let's just use days, days into hours, and hours into minutes. You'll need 4 unit multipliers, I believe, to do that. Yes? Days, is that right? We're using 364 or 365 in a year?
Are we doing leap year or not?
Let's say it's not a leap year, because we went already. Is that 364? Or is it 365? 365 and a quarter. No, and a third. But if it's a quarter, every third year is a leap year. Shouldn't it be every fourth year be a leap year if it's a quarter?
Yeah.
Every 3 years, isn't that a leap year?
It's every 4 years.
Is it? Is it every 4 years? Is everybody born on leap year?
Next year.
Anybody's birthday is February 29? Close? Do we have the math? We should really be done with that. Again, this takes all of the guessing out of it. You can give me the numbers now. Whether you can do the actual multiplication and division, that might be a little complicated. Do we have something there? Purple seems to be the color of the number. Did anybody change dollars into cents right away? Alright, we're not. You changed year into what? Days. So you put year on top, right? Days on the bottom, and that is 365. So now my years are gone. Now I've changed it into $1 million for 365 days. I now have to change days into. You went right from days to minutes. Don't you have to go days to hours? Did somebody do days to minutes? That's a tough conversion. Days to hours. How many hours in a day? 1 day is 24 hours. So now my days are gone, and I've now changed it into hours. Now I change hours into minutes, and there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. And now I've changed it into dollars per minute. I should have done second. Should we do second? How much percent?
Yeah.
Now I need to change dollars into, dollars would have to go down here, cents would have to go up there, 100 cents, right? Per dollar. Is that it? Is that what the math looks like? Hours cross off. So you end up with 1 million times 100, right? Over 365 times 24 times 60. Any simplifying there? Sure. Let's cross off this. Can we do something else? Half of 6 is 3, half of 10 is 5. Oh, look, 5 goes into 365. Can we do that? 70 what? Fish? 73. This goes into this 73 times. Wait, we can take half of 24 and get 12. Half of a million is 500 grand. Half of 12 is 6. Half of 500,000 is 250,000. Wait, half of 6 is 3. Make sure I keep it away. I still have a 3, I still have a 3, and I still have a 73. Half of 250,000 is 125,000. Am I done? And so what is 125,000 divided by 73 times 9? And that's when you say, let's get out the calculator. What? Did I do something wrong?
No.
So here we go. 125,000 divided by, let's do 73 first. 73 equals, and then divide that by 9, right? Just agree with me.
Yes, Mr.
You are making 190 cents per minute, which is $1.90. Now, Joseph, if I would say you could make $1.90 a minute, would you have thought you'd be a millionaire? Wait, so what? What would be our Chase? How do I change that into cents per second then? I have 190 cents per minute. I need to change minutes into seconds. Well, look at this. What do you get? There's 60, right? How many times is 60? How many times is 6 go into 19? 3 point what? 3 is 18. 3 and a 6? So a little bit more than 3 cents per second. I don't think Joseph would work for 3 cents a second. Would you, Joseph? Joseph, would you work for 3 cents a second? You would have told me no if I would have asked.
You're making $1 million a year.
You're making $1 million a year, and that's not good enough.
It would depend on the job. Okay.
The job is
I'm getting a lot of money.
Joseph, your job is
I will make
$1 million. Your job is